So welcome to game two of this doubleheader of the USPL Phase 2, coming to you here from beautiful SUNY Purchase playing field. And we have the Maryland Mavericks going up against the Texas Cowboys. You got the news that Maryland Mavericks have won the toss and they have elected to take first strike. And so the batter is walking out to the middle, Mahesh Kisaka and Tokir Hassan. And so they'll set up shop here for Maryland Mavericks as they look to join the New Jersey Titans, who won emphatically by 7 wickets against the Florida Sharks. So Jersey Titans have opened their account. They're up and running. And so now one of these two combatants will determine if they should join New Jersey Titans on a victory. And so the man with ball in hand is Imran Raja. So he'll start the attack here for the Texas Cowboys, not to be confused with the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, the Dallas Cowboys of football fame. The Texas Cowboys come to this matchup with trying to be as restrictive as possible. They've turned it to a very experienced campaigner in Imran Raja to start their attack, and the man whom will be on strike is Mahesh Kisaka, and so he'll look to get things off and running here for the Maryland Mavericks. The captains, Kunal Baride, you saw there, and also Gaurav Jayaswal, and so we are all set here. The umpires for this match, the same umpires from this morning's affair, Sundaresh Iyer and Steve Kalu. I'm Carl Bennett, and we'll bring you all the action from the middle as Raja gets up and running to start match number 2. And so he starts with a wide ball outside the off stump and for going further away. And so the Maryland Mavericks are up and running, and they're off to 1 for none after the first ball, and get to register a legal delivery here as Imran Raja missing the line straight away. So here he is with ball number 2, and this time he's again going down the leg side, another wide. So inauspicious start here for Raja, pegging the wrong line straight away, and so we'll have to look to correct things here, and we'll see whether or not he's able to do so. Starts straight away with a couple of wides. And this time, taking the edge and running away from a man, the wicketkeeper diving away. And it runs down to the third man region. So the first shot off the blade, and it comes off the bat of Mahesh. So he gets away, streaky, but it does get him off the mark, and so he's up and running. It's 1 for none, and it will bring Tokir Hassan onto strike. So Tokir, the left-hander, and Tokir, also a 360 player, surveys the outfield here at SUNY Purchase. Boundaries are short. Batters will be looking to take advantage of anything on the interior and take advantage of the short boundaries. Generally playing straight, playing or hitting down the ground is the most effective strategy. And so they start with a good delivery here from Raja, forces Tokir to defend. And so a good beginning here from Imran Raja when he does get the ball on the right line. Seems to be very effective. And again, outside the off stump. And this one going further away. Umpire Iyer convinced that it was a fair delivery. So the score remains unchanged. We're seeing in the power play, as you well know, viewers at home, that in the power play, only 2 fielders allowed outside that 30-yard circle. An ambitious-looking drive from Hassan winds up, in fact, a no ball. No ball is the call. And so no ball adds 1 then to the tally for Mavericks. More importantly, the circle atop the head there from umpire Iyer indicates that now a free hit will be on offer. And so Hassan will get a free swing of the blade here as Toker, as the fielders for the Texas Cowboys converged and for a short conversation with umpire Sundaresh Iyer, just confirming the infraction and suggesting that Imran would have overstepped the crease. Here's the free hit ball, and it's a wide, and so this one will have to be rebowled. So the free hit's still in effect, and so wide is added. So free hit still in effect here for the Maryland Mavericks, and so another free swing off the blade from Tokir Hassan. And this one another wide, so the free hit will remain in effect. But now that they have crossed for a wide, the field can change. So the circle, in fact, umpire giving the indication that the free hit is still on, because we have not seen a fair delivery bowled since the no ball infraction took place. And so the score up to already 7 for none. And Mahesh is back on strike here. So Mahesh will be the benefactor of this free hit. And he hits it well through the offside, finds the gap. And there's protection out in the deep, but can't stop a couple. And so Mahesh comes back across and pushes the total up to 9. With still a couple of deliveries remaining in the first over. Maryland Mavericks batting first here against the Texas Cowboys, having won the toss and indicating straight away that they want to put up a total on the board. They want to set a target, and again another wide. So Imran Raja struggling here at the moment to get it right, to get the line right at least, and has already conceded extras of 7 in this over. 6 wides, or wides totaling 6, and then 1 no ball to boot. So 10 on the board. Mahesh the man on strike. And again, this will be another extra. So the struggles of Imran Raja continues. So he is bowled. He is running 9 times already, and still has 2 legal deliveries remaining. So it's been a struggle for Imran Raja, the veteran. And this time he does get it right, does get the line right. And the batter looking to work the ball through the onside, doesn't get a hold of it as well as he would have liked, but succeeds in getting it out on the offside. Can't score though. And so the total remains at 11. The final ball of a very lengthy over, an elongated over. Protracted for Imran Raja, and this time jumping back is Mahesh to defend. That will close it out finally. 11 from the over to start. Maryland Mavericks up and running here against the Texas Cowboys.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So Jihan. So Jihan Senanayake has been given the ball, so he'll continue the attack here from, continue the attack from the car park end. Fielders, the bowling unit, bowling from one end for the safety of all in this somewhat small ground. And straight away, Hassan gets off the mark. Around came Taj Muhammad cleaning up, and so can't stop the single. And so it will rotate the strike then to Kasaka. And so Mahesh Kasaka has faced 4 balls so far. This looked very circumspect start from the batters. Part of it was they weren't able to build up any sort of a rhythm in over number 1, given the wide array of extras that were delivered in the first over. In fact, there were extras total 8 in over number 1, wides totaling 7, and then there was the no ball. And so, given all the wides that were bowled, difficult for the batters to feel the ball on the blade, so to speak. Sometimes as a batter, you want to feel that ball on the blade, and so batters are often inclined to just play just to get the feel of the bat on the ball, and so they can build up their confidence, get the feel for the pace of the wicket, the pace of the surface, where the bounce is, and so that has contributed to a slow start here. From a bat, and he's gone. So clipped. The stumps are still standing, but the bails have been knocked off here as he was on the back foot looking to go through. In fact, and the stumps have been knocked backwards. The leg stump is knocked back, and so the first wicket falls here. It's Mahesh that goes, and so he falls for 3. It's 12 for 1 as Jihan Senanayake strikes.
As per the performance of the previous year, we can see that. हाँ बेबी, कुछ नहीं.
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
Breakfast भूल गया. कर लूँगा.
इतनी बार बोला है, ऐसे मत लेट किया करो.
3 minutes.
अभी तुम्हारे पेट में एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
जाएगी and then
रखूँ. हाँ.
बेबी की चिट चैट 3 मिनट्स में इम्पॉसिबल. मगर MTR का 3 मिनट उपमा जस्ट ऐड हॉट वाटर, मिक्स, कवर और 3 मिनट्स में रेडी. MTR 3 मिनट ब्रेकफास्ट, इंडिया का ब्रेकफास्ट.
So Rohit Sarwadekar strides to the middle, and he comes in here at with 4 balls gone in the second over. So 10 legal deliveries have been bowled by the Texas Cowboys, and it took 10 legal deliveries before they were able to effect their first breakthrough. And so it brings Rohit to the middle. So here is Senanayake. He starts with a good delivery that's turned into the onside. Taj Muhammad is well placed at mid-wicket, and so can't elude Taj, who does well. Very nimble fielder, Taj Muhammad, and so keeps the batter from being able to get off the mark. Just 1 ball remaining here in the second over, and this one will run away for a single to close out over number 2. And so with 2 overs gone then, it's the Maryland Mavericks batting first here against the Texas Cowboys. They are 13 for 1 after 2. So Imran Raja to continue. And he starts again where he left off in his first over. Starts with a wide. So continues to struggle to find the right line here. Is Raja. So that's wide number, or wide totaling 8 now that he's contributed to this total of 14 that's on the board. So that's the extras. Extras are the top scorer so far. Well played through the offside. Eludes the diving backward point. In fact, the wide third man. And it's gone away for the first boundary of the afternoon, at least in the second match. And so now Rohit Sarwadekar is up and running with his first boundary. 18 on the board for one. So the fielder diving away there. Safwan Ahmed not able to get hands to it. This one worked into the onside. Taj Mohammed converges. In fact, gives way to long on coming in there. And so easy single for Rohit. And Rohit, the hitman for Maryland Mavericks. And wonder if he has any traits of the original hitman, Rohit Sharma, out of India. So Rohit now off strike. He stands at the non-striker's end for the moment. Hassan now on to strike. And this one is played up into the offside. This time Enrique Singh is well positioned at short cover. So just about just on the 8 runs and over the start here for the Maryland Mavericks, but in fairness, the biggest contributor to their total so far have been extras. And ball outside the off stump, a swing and a miss. And so the score remains unchanged here at 19. And we see the associate sponsor, the MTR, coming up on the board. And so we have to thank all the sponsors whom would have made the U.S. Premier League possible. They have been many and many important sponsors. And a big strike this. Ball in the air, up through the onside. 2 men run back. Can't get there in the end. And it runs towards the mid-wicket boundary. And the batters are back for a couple, so not in control. An aggressive strike off the blade of Hassan, looking to go big over straight mid-wicket. Ball was in the air for a long time. 2 fielders running across, not able to get around to it. And so he does pick up a couple and pushes the total up to 21. This time well struck, up and over, in fact straight into the side screen. The first maximum of the afternoon. And so Tokyo Hassan up and running. And with his first maximum here, you see just standing and delivering on the front foot. Time to perfection. And straight into the side screen. And so that will close out the over. 14 from it. 27 for 1 then after 3.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So Senanayake has His first over cost him just 2 runs. Did pick up the important wicket off Mahesh Kesaka. So, good beginning for this young speedster. Short, pulled with disdain down the track, and this will run away for another boundary here. And so using his feet well as he comes down the track here, and the ball angled into his body, made the adjustment, did Sawardeka, and picks up his second boundary. And so Sawardeka hitting the ball out of the middle of the blade. Again, short porch here at SUNY Purchase. Generally, when you hit the ball out of the middle, if you time it, if you have any level of good timing on it, it generally will find the ropes. And on that occasion, he did just that. So 10 off 6 so far. Well struck. And this time, this one will go the distance. Cleanly struck. And another brilliant strike off the blade of Rohit. And so it's up and over. And he pushes the total quickly up to 37. And so here come the Maryland Mavericks as they storm to a run rate up and over 10 and over now, going at just about 10.6. And so a good start here for the Mavericks here on the power play. What will Senanyake's response be? This time he's pushing him onto the back foot. And so a good response from Jihan, as has Rohit dancing a bit as he hops onto the back foot. A good back foot player he is, and has all the shots. You can see from the deliveries he's played in this over that he times the ball well. And looking to turn this one into the onside. They scamper through for what might be a leg by. We get the confirmation from umpire Kalu. So one leg by will push that total up to 38. The Maryland Mavericks and the Texas Cowboys. Winner here will join the New Jersey Titans at the top of the table. New Jersey Titans with an emphatic win against the champions of Phase 1, the Florida Sharks, as they easily, in the end, chased down 198, which is no small feat, on the back of a blistering century from Vandit Prajapati. And Vandit not only has laid down the gauntlet here in this second phase, but he is certainly proven that he is a man to be reckoned with. And with that delivery, the fourth over comes to an end. 11 runs from it, it's 38 for 1.
As per the performance of the previous year, we can see that. हाँ बेबी, कुछ नहीं.
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
Breakfast भूल गया. कर लूँगा.
इतनी बार बोला है, ऐसे मत लेट
So
किया करो.
3 minutes.
अभी तुम्हारे
Okay.
पेट में एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
रही है.
रखूँ. हाँ.
बेबी की चिट चैट 3 मिनट्स में इम्पॉसिबल, मगर MTR का 3 मिनट उपमा जस्ट ऐड हॉट वाटर, मिक्स, कवर और 3 मिनट्स में रेडी. MTR 3 मिनट ब्रेकफास्ट, इंडिया का ब्रेकफास्ट.
So Lijo Varghese has been given the ball, and so he will replace, in effect, Imran Raja. Here, Raja would have bowled 2 overs, none for 25. Jihan Senanayake, 2 overs, 1 for 12. So bowler number 3 is Lijo, so he comes in here with the Mavericks going at a good pace at 9.5 per over. We're still in the power play. A couple of overs remaining here in the power play. First 6, and then the fielding restriction is then lifted, and so then the Texas Cowboys can spread the field a bit, looking to preserve as many runs as possible. Nonetheless, the Mavericks are off to a good start, or a reasonably good start. So Lijo will running here to test his run up, making sure that he has everything to his liking. Bowling to a slip, third man at point, backward point, cover point, man at cover. We have man at mid off, all in the circle. We have long on, straight mid wicket, and then a man at deep square leg. Man deep forward of square, and so that's your field for Lijo Varghese, and so he starts with a wide. So we've seen the batters, the bowlers struggle here to bowl the right line, and so extras now into double figures, extras up to 11, wides totaling 9. And so it's these bowlers will have to look to be that much more disciplined in where they bowl on this surface. A very true wicket here at turf wicket here at SUNY Purchase. And this one is slapped away through the offside and eludes a diving third man. And he can only go to retrieve. And that's 4 good-looking runs off the blade of Sawadekar. Takes him into the 20s. And the score up to 43. And the man there, Safwan Ahmed, again diving away and not able to keep the ball from eluding him. And so the good work of Rohit and Tokir Hassan continues. .43 on the board, partnership of 31 between these two. 31 off 15 balls, so they're going at well in excess, and they're going at a 200 strike rate, so effectively 2 runs for every ball bowled in this partnership so far. Can't ask for much more. If you're the Maryland Mavericks, short and punched away up through the offside. Protection at deep extra cover. And so only a single then to Rohit, takes him up to 21, and he gets off strike, brings Hassan back into the mix. So Lijo has given away 6 runs in the over so far, just 2 legal deliveries sent through to this point. Really picturesque surface here at SUNY Purchase. Short boundaries on either side of the wicket, and especially straight. But nonetheless, trees are the backdrop here, and the field is encircled on both ends of the wicket. So on the long off, long on end, there are trees that sort of encircle the field there, or the surface area, and then in the back as well there are some trees that are the backdrop, and so we get another wide ball that's been bowled by another Texas Cowboys bowler. So the wides are now pushing double digits, wides totaling 10, extras totaling 12, and so after Rohit Sawadekar on 21, the next highest run contributor are extras. Oh, teeing off here and hitting this one with disdain up and over mid-wicket. Another clean strike, this time from Hassan, takes him into double digits, brings up to 50 for the Maryland Mavericks. And 50 comes up inside the first 5 overs, just 4.3 overs gone. 51 already on the board. A blistering start here for Mavericks, or what was a decent start, now much, much better, as they're going at now over 11 and over, and 50 up already. And if that maximum could have been measured in meters, probably in the range of maybe 70, 80 meters. It was well hit out of the middle of the screws. And once you time the ball well, a very true surface here, once you get close to the pitch of the delivery and you time it well, it will travel. And so balls are traveling here at SUNY Purchase. That's the third maximum of this innings. And coupled with 3-4s, two of those maximums off the blade of Tokar Hassan, the other off Rohit Sawardekar's blade. And so now that has brought out the competition committee, as you see them there with the umpires, deciding on what's a suitable replacement ball. And so the budget of the USPL has just gone up a slightly more, as courtesy of Tokar Hassan. He's up to 15 from just 11 balls. And a very supportive players pavilion. As you see, you can see the players there applauding everything that happens from a Maryland Mavericks perspective. They have to be happy with the effort so far from their teammates, as these two have contributed a 39-run partnership already. And the protracted discussion continues between umpires Sundaresh Iyer and Steve Kalu and the tournament directors, the management team out in the middle. Again, having a discussion as to what the condition of the ball should be. Should be a fairly new ball, given that we're inside the first 5 overs. So that ball would not have had very much wear and tear to this juncture. And so as new a ball as they can find from that box, they'll look to go with. They seem satisfied now that they do have a suitable replacement. And so we're back with the action, with the news that the Maryland Mavericks are 51 for 1 after just 4.3 overs. And Tokar Hassan and Rohit Sawardeker are blazing a trail here, 39 from just 17 balls, as they're looking to set the foundation here inside the power play, and they're off to a good start. Hassan, now the man back on strike. And this one will go well down the leg side. Another wide ball is called, and I would have to think, without being able to see from our vantage point where the delivery would have passed, if these balls, based on the batter's reaction, some of these look to be so wide that they may be bordering going off the matting completely. And if they do go off the matting, it goes from being a wide to actually being a no ball. And the benefit of having a no ball in that instance would be that the batter would get they would get a free hit. And so a free hit, free swing gives the batter all the liberties to swing for the fences without the possibility of being dismissed. And so if you had the opportunity to get a free hit versus just an ordinary wide, which both would still contribute 1 to the scorecard, but the no ball does give you the opportunity for that risk-free scoring opportunity. And this one is finding the gap and runs up towards the point boundary, and around comes Senanayake, and can't stop the batters from crossing for a couple. And so 2 more will push the total on to 55. Final ball of the over. And this one will run away towards the boundary, and into the boundary it goes. And so a good looking strike from Tokar. And he picks up a boundary. And so that will close out the over. It's now 59 for 1.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cptfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cptfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So Johan Samarikrama comes into the attack here, and so both batters on, in fact Toker on 16, Rohit on 27. And so a single to Rohit pushes the total up to 60. Oh, teeing off once again. Well struck. And this one is gone for another maximum here. And what a strike. Toker Hassan just on fire here. And he smashes this a long way. And again, defending this time. 66 on the board. And this one hit well, and one bounce into the boundary. And so Toker on fire here, on the go. And really teeing off now as he pushes up to 26. And my word, he has really, really come to the party here. 26 off 14 balls. Has really looked the part. Oh, and he's gone. So after all that good work that was done, he comes back and strikes here with ball number 5. Takes him out. The off stump has been knocked back. And so can't ask for a better response than that if you're Johan. And so now it's 70 for 2 as the wicket falls. And the partnership of 59 comes to an end. And so it's Toker that's been sent back. 70 for 2 as the new batter walks to the middle in the form of Wakas Ali. So actually, so Praneeth is the batter that walks to the middle. Praneeth Nemarugumala. And so he will face just one ball remaining here in over number 6. So the final ball of the power play. 70 the total for the loss of 2 wickets. And the wicket takers so far, Jihansen and Ayake. 1 for 12 from his 2, and then Johan Samaru Wikrama has picked up a wicket here in this over. And so both have been the 2 wicket takers. This one is driven away up to Shrompmedoff, can't score. That will close out over number 6. So that's the end of the power play. It's 70 for 2 at the end of 6 overs.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So Enrique Singh replaces Lijo Varghese, and so he will continue the attack here for the Texas Cowboys with the total at 70 for 2. Partnership of 58 from 25 balls coming to an end. A partnership between Rohit Sawadekar and Tokir Hassan. Hassan scored 26 off 16 balls, but he's back in the hut for the moment. Starts with a good delivery outside the off stump. Has Rohit reaching, not able to get back onto ball. Score remains at 70. Now he'll get off the mark as the ball worked up towards the captain Gaurav Jaiswal. And so Praneeth has faced just a couple balls so far. Still yet to get off the mark. So again, we want to thank our sponsors, MTR among those helping to make this U.S. Premier League possible. An associate sponsor as this is driven down the ground towards long off. Good, nice bounce to the fielder there. And makes it look easy in the end, just a single. So good start for Enrique. Swing and a miss, and again asking some questions here. In fact, now it's a wide ball that's signaled. And so we've seen wides really adding up. As wides now totaling 12. worked again off the square towards the backward square region. And Taj Mohammed is positioned there. Can't stop one. So score pushes up to 74. And this one is hit well towards the long on fielder. And the man positioned out there is Waka Sali. Again, can't stop a single. And so that will close out the over. Just 5 runs from it. It's 75 for 2 at the end of 7 overs. What a strike. Again, the delivery hit well up and over. And again, if you time the ball well, hitting down the ground is a good way to attack. And this time Praneeth gets into the act. Just planting that front foot straight and just getting the elevation, just getting underneath the ball, getting the elevation up and over. Short boundaries here and straight into the parking lot. So he moves up to 8, score 81. 81 for the loss of 2 wickets. The batsmen dismissed Mahesh Kasarkar for 3 and Tokir Hassan, who went for 26. And so 81 the total on the board then. One of the rare deliveries we've seen of late that misses the blade. So again, good strike rotation here as Praneeth gets off strike, turns it over to Rohit. Rohit, 30 from 16 balls, has been very effective so far for the Maryland Mavericks. And again, we've seen those deliveries all day long. So as we've said that this surface has been this surface has been a little unpredictable at times. We've seen true bounce when the ball has been full and up against the blade, but we've seen the balls certainly take some very unusual bounce pitched on a length or even back of a length, as this will be another boundary here to Praneeth. And so he will move his tally along. 13 to him, 87 the total on the board, and the over comes to an end.
As per the performance of the previous year, we can see that.
87 for 2.
हाँ बेबी, कुछ नहीं.
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
Breakfast? भूल गया. कर लूँगा.
इतनी बार बोला है, ऐसे मत लेट
So
किया करो.
3 minutes.
अभी तुम्हारी ट्रीट में एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
रही है.
रखूँ. हाँ हाँ हाँ.
बेबी की चिट-चैट 3 minutes में? Impossible. मगर MTR का 3 minute उपमा. Just add hot water, mix, cover और 3 minutes में ready. MTR 3-minute breakfast. India ka breakfast.
Down the track and driving well. So another single. He'll turn the strike over to Praneeth. Nemaru Gomala. And this one is hit well. Oh, through the hands, and it's gone for a maximum. So the ball was hit into the onside and hit well. And I think Senanayake position there. And the hands went up. It burst through the hands and then into the ropes. Gone for a maximum. And so Praneeth gets up to 19. Total up to 94. So Mavericks on the verge of going past the 3-figure mark. And as we've seen on so many occasions, a maximum is followed by just getting off strike. And so Praneeth gets off strike for his and picks up his 20th run in the process. 95 the total. Oh, hit well. Gone for another maximum here. And so that will bring up the 100. 100 comes up in over number 9. And Rohit goes up to 38 in the process. So 101 for the loss of 2 wickets. 38 to Rohit Sarwadekar. 20 to Praneeth. And down the track, and this time driving well. There's protection not long off. But can stop one. And so Rohit picks up his 39th run. Has used up just 21 balls to get there. And now they take advantage of some less than stellar cricket, outfield cricket from the Texas Cowboys. The over comes to an end, 15 coming from it. It's 102, in fact 103 for 2 at the end of 9 overs.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So Johan will continue. 103 for 4. Johan on 39. Praneeth will pick up run number 22 here, as he's just driving effortlessly down the ground. And Imran Raja is the man position out at long off, and this one in the air should be caught and is put down. Oh my word, what a bad miss. And the ball was in the air, what looked to be a very uncomplicated catch. And the fielder stands in disbelief, hands akimbo, and can't believe that he would have allowed that one to slip through, and that would be Enrique Singh. And 105 then the total. As Rohit has been let off the hook here. And so the chances continue to go a begging here for the Texas Cowboys, only themselves to blame if this should get out of hand. And this one again driven up through the offside. This time they scamper through for a single. So Praneeth will pick up his 23rd run. So it brings Rohit back onto strike. And so that will complete the over. It's just 3 runs from it actually. And so it's 106 for 2 at the end of the 10th over.
As per the performance of the previous year, we can see that. हाँ बेबी, कुछ नहीं.
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
Breakfast भूल गया. कर लूँगा.
इतनी बार बोला है, ऐसे मत लेट
So
किया करो.
3 minutes.
अभी तुम्हारे
Okay.
ट्रीट में एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
जाएगी
रखूँ.
and
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
बेबी की चिट चैट 3 मिनट्स में इम्पॉसिबल. मगर MTR का 3 मिनट उपमा जस्ट ऐड हॉट वाटर, मिक्स, कवर और 3 मिनट्स में रेडी. MTR 3 मिनट ब्रेकफास्ट, इंडिया का ब्रेकफास्ट.
So umpire Steve Kalu having a slight short conference with wicketkeeper Navir Ramsaran. And sure, Steve Kalu might be asking where can they have like a good dinner this evening? Where is a good place to go for dinner here in Westchester, by close to SUNY Purchase, and not sure what answer might be given. So Safwan Ahmed will be given the ball here, and so he will take over from Enrique Singh, whose previous over went for 16. He's bowled 2 overs for 21, Enrique Singh. And so he gives way here. As Safwan will take over. So Praneeth will be the man on strike. He's on 23. And you see it on screen, 23 from 16 balls. 40 to Rohit off 23 balls. So one is going at 174 strike rate, the other at 144. And so he starts with a dot ball, does Safwan. So keeps the scores at keeps the score at 106. Again, good start here for Safwan. A couple of dots to start, keeping Praneeth quiet for the moment. As Rohit looks on from the non-striker's end. A good start here for the Maryland Mavericks. They're going at over 10 and over. So on course for a total in excess of 200 as this one takes a thick outside edge and runs towards the third man boundary. They cross one, comes back for a second as the fielder gets onto it. That will push Praneeth up to 25, the total up to 108. And Safwan asking for some adjustments, wanting the fielder to go a little straighter at third man. Down the track and hitting well. Ball in the air. In fact, it's just pulled back inside the extra cover boundary. And in the end, it's only a single, but the ball was in the air for some time. The man had to run a long way, couldn't get there. And this one again hit well down the ground towards long off. And so steady progress being made here by the Maryland Mavericks. They have kept the scoreboard moving. They have ridden their luck. And they have done so on the back of a couple of good innings here being put together. Ball in the air again for some time. So again, hitting across the line of the delivery, going against the spin. And that ball taking a thick outside edge, going up into the offside. And that will close out the over. Just 5 runs from it. It's 111 for 2 at the end of 11.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cptfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cptfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
Oh, hit well. Man comes around there. In fact, the captain, Gaurav, comes around. And it was hit well. Didn't get as much power on it as he would have liked. And in the end, just picks up a single. Moves him up to 28 and gets him off strike. Does Praneeth. And quickly Rohit comes on to strike, and they rotate. They go for one. So a couple of singles here to start out the 12th over. 113 on the board. Again, Maryland Mavericks going at just about 10 and over, on course for a total in excess of 200. 200 may not be enough. It's left to be seen. We saw 200 essentially chased down quite easily here this morning by the New Jersey Titans. But that said, it did take a special effort on the part of one Vandit Prajapati to effect, and this one has been hit clean out of the ground. And so another good strike, as we see on the back foot, short, didn't have to move much. And once you time the ball well, it went well over the boundary, and you see Gaurav Jayaswal running back to retrieve. It's a well-struck delivery. Pushes Praneeth up to 34, total up to 119. And so this continues to be a good partnership. 49 now, this partnership. Oh, tees off once again. This will bring up the 50 partnership. And it's a really good partnership here as Praneeth joins Rohit in the 40s, as he goes up to 40 himself. 125 for 2. Partnership of 55 between these two, coming off just 36 balls. And Maryland Mavericks really in a good position here from which to launch as we approach the death overs. And again, tugged well into the gap. Man comes over. In fact, both fielders running by. He picked the gap perfectly and bisects the fielders into the boundary again. 18 runs already conceded in this over with still one delivery remaining. And so now Praneeth has gone ahead of Rohit. He's up to 44 and has faced one less delivery. In fact, has faced just one more delivery. And so the over actually concluded. It's 130 for 2 at the end of 12. So we're back with the action here at SUNY Purchase, the State University of New York at Purchase College. And we have seen tremendous double header here this on this day this morning. Florida Sharks and New Jersey Titans battled. And this afternoon it's the Maryland Mavericks and Texas Cowboys. So 8 overs remain. So we're 3 overs away from what we would consider the death overs, which generally gets going at over number 15. And delivery struck up into the offside towards long off. And Imran Raja is posted out there. Keeps the ball inside those inside that circle, that roped circle that we refer to as a boundary. And this one is cut away through the offside. Protection at deep extra cover. They go for one. That is all that they'll get, as Rohit not interested in coming back for the second. And so Rohit will be the man on strike. 131 on the board. Partnership of 61 between these two. Down the track, he gets a good ball and he's hit clean out of the ground. And that will take him up to 49. And so Rohit has really been brilliant here. 49 from just 27 balls. And both batters here on the verge of crossing personal milestones. It's 137 for 2. And the Maryland Mavericks are really going great guns here. They're going at over 11 and over. And so they're on pace for a score in excess of 211, 210, 211. And if they should continue actually going at this exact pace, they would get to a total of in excess of 220. And so it's left to be seen whether or not that's possible. 214, we've been told, in the U.S. Premier League. That's the high water mark for a team, is 214 runs. So that might be a target, a soft target of sorts for the Maryland Mavericks. Can they push to get beyond 200 to begin with? And then if they do so, how much beyond 200 can they get? Right now, the projections suggest that if they continue at this same rate, they will get to roughly 220. As you see the Maryland team, the roster being put up, and now the Cowboys roster on screen. And the Cowboys being led by Gaurav Jayaswal. And they have a very strong team on paper, but we've seen the bowling effort not live up to expectations, so to speak, at least so far, as the batters are unsure what the indecision was. There seemed to have been a single on offer there. In the end, they don't end up taking it, as the action continues. Again, ball played up into the offside. And this time, the 50 will come up for Rohit. And he gets the 50 off 29 balls. And has batted for 54 minutes. 172 strike rate, 3 sixes and 4 fours in his innings. And my word, he's really played a good hand. Oh, teeing off down the ground, and Raja looks up, watches it go over. 50 for Praneeth as well. So he joins the party, and his 50 comes off 28 balls. And so both batters going at similar strike rates. And Praneeth's 50 off 28, 182 strike rate, 5 sixes and 2 fours. And he is batted for just 26 minutes. And so brilliant batting on the part of both these batters. Partnership of 74 between these two. 74 coming off 44 balls. So brilliant batting, 144 for 2. And both striking it quite well at close to 200 strike rate. 7 more overs remain here. So 11.15 the going rate at the moment. In fact, 11.08 the current run rate. And so the ball has been given to Sufyan. So he will continue the attack here to Rohit Sawadekar. Sawadekar on 50. So Sufyan will continue the attack here. Sufyan starts with conceding a single to Rohit, who was looking to pull the ball through the onside. Sufyan Khan Rahil. Oh, ball hit well. Imran Raja looks up, watches again as this one goes up and over. Another maximum to Praneeth. And he brings up the 150 for the Maryland Mavericks. And 150 comes up in the 14th over. 151 for 2. 57 to Praneeth. Ball keeping low on that occasion. And so suddenly we've seen some uneven bounce here. We've seen, for the most part, we've seen very true bounce on this surface. But on a couple of occasions we've seen a few jaffers. And a couple of balls keeping low. This one down the leg side. Wide is the call from umpire Kalu. So 152 then, with still 39 balls remaining in the innings here for the Maryland Mavericks, who won the toss earlier this afternoon. Elected to post the total. Turned again in the onside. They're going to challenge for 2. They go for 1. They turn quickly for the second, and they good running between these two. Good understanding. And they were able to get back easily without even drawing a throw. And so really the good effort of Praneeth and Rohit continues. Partnership of 84 between these two. It's 154 for 2. We're in over number 14. So 38 balls remaining. Praneeth on strike. He's on 59. Ooh, swing and a miss. This one will run away towards the fine leg boundary. Could be wides upcoming here. And in fact, the signal is runs. And just tugging the ball, just inside edge, and flying down to the vacant fine leg region. And so that will push Praneeth into the 60s. He goes up to 63. And 158 on the board. Very good going here. The Maryland Mavericks continue to proceed at better than double digit run rate per over, going at 11.5 almost, 11.4 for those scoring at home. And this one is well struck, but protection at straight mid wicket. And so only a single on offer as Johan is positioned there. And so that will close out the over. 15 runs from it. And so with 15 gone, it's the Maryland Mavericks batting first. They're 159 for the loss of 2 wickets. The batsman dismissed. Mahesh Kesarkar for 3 and Tokir Hassan for 26.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले Visit cbtfspeednews.com. यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो. Visit cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So over number 15 about to get on the way here as Imran Raja has been given the ball. None for 25. Oh, he starts out with conceding a maximum here to Praneeth. And he slaps this one with disdain over long off. Gone for another maximum. And that's the 7th that Praneeth has struck. 7th maximum in his innings. He goes up to 70 and he could be eyeing another 3-figure score here. We saw one earlier. A brilliant one from Vandit Parajapati. And so can he also, in fact, can either of these two, both are within striking range of perhaps getting a 3-figure score. But so far, now Praneeth has taken the lead here over Rohit. And so he's up to 70 off 34 balls. And what striking on the part of Praneeth. Striking it now at over 200, 206 strike rate. It's a very effective batting, has had 10 dots in his innings, compared with 7 dots for Rohit. All his other shots have been scoring shots. 71% of the deliveries he's faced have been scoring deliveries. 77% of the deliveries Rohit has faced have also been scoring deliveries. The difference, Praneeth has struck more of them out of the ground. 7 out of the ground compared to 3 out of the ground for Rohit. And he comes back for another couple here as we are in the fast 5. And just 34 balls remaining in the innings. Partnership of 97 between these two. 167 for 2 the total. This one driven well. In fact, a correction. Now it's 167. And this one is hit well into the gap. Coming around and doing well is Taj Mohammed. And saves what would have been a sure boundary. In fact, Jihan Senanayake, the man coming around, and saves what would have been a sure boundary. And this one hit well into the side screen, gone for a maximum, and so that brings up the 100 partnership between these two. And what a partnership it's been. So 174 the total for the loss of 2 wickets. 173 rather for the loss of 2 wickets. 77 to Praneeth, 52 to Rohit. Just 30 balls remain. In the innings, and with 174 on the board, one would think they will easily eclipse the total put up by the New Jersey Titans earlier. Titans posted 198. And so on course here for a total in the range of 217, 220-ish. And so I think Raja will finish up here. In fact, it's number 18 actually, Sufyan, who is continues. So he starts with a wide. So that will add 1 to the tally. So wides are totaling 14 of the 16 extras that have been been delivered here on the afternoon. And this one is hit well, and he drops it. So hit firmly, back to Sufyan. And so Rohit offers a chance. Was a hard chance. It would have required a bit of luck to have plucked that one out of the air. Not able to accomplish it. Now this one hit well. Does the man have a play? Looks up and watches it go over. And so another maximum here, this time to Rohit. And Maximum's balls are flying out of the ground with some bit of regularity here, as this is the 15-6 that's been struck in this innings, and that's the 4th to Rohit, coupled with 8 for Praneeth, and then 3 for Tokir earlier. And he's down the track and pulling this one behind square for another boundary. And so Rohit will not be outdone by Praneeth. He goes into the 60s, and he goes up to 62. 184 for 2. 114 run partnership this between these two from just 58 balls. And so what a productive partnership it's been, and has put Maryland Mavericks in a very strong position here with still 28 balls remaining, so they could be looking at a total in excess of 230. As he goes down the ground and hits towards the offside, it runs away towards backward point. They go for one, and in the end, they'll have to settle for one because the reaction of Praneeth was not the best. He perhaps thought it would have gone for a boundary, and in the end, they were just able to complete a single. So 185 for 2. Pulled into the onside, and around comes Jihan once again, and can't stop one, but does prevent the ball from going into the boundary. We've seen so many boundaries on the afternoon, mostly 6s, but we've also seen 9-4 struck as well in the innings for Mavericks. This time a swing and a miss. One of the rare times we've seen the ball get the better of the blade. And so that does close out the over. And so it's 13 from it. It's 186 for the loss of 2 wickets.
As per the performance of the previous year, we can see that. हाँ बेबी, कुछ नहीं.
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
Breakfast भूल गया. कर लूँगा.
इतनी बार बोला है, ऐसे मत लेट
So
किया करो.
3 minutes.
अभी तुम्हारे पेट में एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
रही है.
रखूँ. हाँ.
बेबी की चिट-चैट 3 minutes में? Impossible. मगर MTR का 3 minute उपमा. Just add hot water, mix, cover और 3 minutes में ready. MTR 3 minute breakfast. India का breakfast.
So Enrique Singh comes back, 2 overs, none for 21. And he starts with a ball outside the off stump, and it's driven into the long off boundary. And so that is 4 more to Praneeth, takes him into the 80s. He goes up to 82. And so it's 190 now for the loss of 2 wickets. 23 balls remaining. 230 in the sights of the Maryland Mavericks. The Double M's are looking to lay down a marker here in U.S. Premier League cricket. And should they get beyond 214, that would be the highest run total of any team, either in Phase 1 or Phase 2, by our reckoning. So 120 run partnership this between these two. Down the ground and hitting one-handed towards the offside. And my word, Praneeth, what do you have in those forearms? It's gone up and over for another maximum. takes him up to 88 on the score, up to 196. And so Maryland Mavericks are off to what may be, in fact, the highest run total here in the U.S. Premier League, particularly here in Phase 2. Struck well down the ground, and it's raced into the side screen. And umpire Iyer had to take evasive action. And ball struck powerfully. And the umpire ducking and diving, almost as if he is in a shooting range. And the ball plummets. And that will bring up the 200 on the board for Maryland Mavericks. And now they'll push through for another single here. And so 200 comes up in over number 17 with still 20 balls remaining. And so, my word, what total could we be looking at here now, where the projections is suggesting closer to 240. And so they press for one. They're going to challenge for two. And no in the end is the call. And perhaps a wise decision in the end. Still 16 gone in the over already, with still one ball remaining here as Enrique Singh under tremendous pressure. Can he finish? Can he get out of this over without any further damage? Doesn't appear that he can, but this time will only be a single conceded to close out the over. 17 from it. It's 203 for 2 at the end of 17 overs.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So Jihan Sinanayake comes back into the attack, and he'll come back after bowling 2 overs, 1 for 12. So Praneeth on 94, he's probably one swing of the blade away from another triple figure score on the day. And it's outside the off stump and steered away towards the third man boundary. It goes into the boundary. And so that will take him up to 98. And so now truly just one strike away. 207 then the total. 17 balls remain. Praneeth on the verge of bettering the effort of Vandit Parajapati. And this would be the fastest 100 that we have seen today if he should get there. Still 2 important runs to get as the field adjusts here. It's 207 on the board. 98 from 43. No small feat this if he should push past the 3-figure mark. So if he does so, he'll say to Vandit, I see your 104. I raise you whatever he ends up with. And this time, the ball is going down the leg side. May have come off the pad. We'll wait for a signal, if any. And so that single will take him up to 99. And so now, just within 1 run of crossing the individual triple figure score. He's off strike for the moment as a swing and a miss pays off from assist from Jihan, and so the score remains at 208. We have seen some brilliant batting today in both games. We saw 400 runs put up in game number 1 and add 200 more here. We've seen 600 runs already on the day. Big strike. What's on offer here? Man looks up. Does he have a chance? Watches it go over. Gone for maximum. And so that will take Rohit up to 70. The total up to 214. And so that's the high water mark of the U.S. Premier League. A record will be broken here on the afternoon. 214. They have matched the high water mark of U.S. Premier League from Phase 1. Can they establish the record here? They will. This is hit well and hit down the ground. And that breaks the record. As now 215 comes up. And more importantly, it brings Praneeth back onto strike. He's on 99. 215 the total on the board. Will he cross the 3-figure mark here? Here is Jihan. And gets a good ball. Gets a good ball. Closes out the over. And 12 runs coming from it. It's 215 for 2 at the end of 18.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज टीम अपडेट्स स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
Again, want to say thanks to our sponsors, the title sponsor CBTF, with the fastest news in cricket. And you want speed news, look no further than CBTF, the title sponsor of the U.S. Premier League. Over at number 19, about to get underway here. And the man on strike is Rohit Sawadekar. He drives and drives well. Hits this one up and over again. And whiplash in the deep for whiplash in the deep for Imran Raja. He's had to look up quite a bit all afternoon long, and so may need a neck brace at some point. A lot of sixes have gone in his general direction. And no, taken on the shoulder area, and Rohit has been struck. And the ball, as it often does, goes underneath the protection. And instantly, we saw the signal from Praneeth to the player's area that, in fact, blood may have been drawn there. So it seemed to have missed the protection completely. And really a very difficult situation here for Rohit Sawadekar. Let's hope he's not too bad off for the wear and tear. But they signaled to the players' pavilion immediately for either ice or some bit of first aid. So the team runs on to the field with looking to bring some aid to Rohit Sawadekar. And so we'll pause here and come back on the other side of the break with the hope that Rohit Sawadekar not too bad off here after being struck by an errant delivery. 221 for 2. So Rohit appears to have shaken it off. Seems fine to continue. Gets a pat on the shoulder from his partner Praneeth at the non-striker's end. Praneeth Nemaru Gomala has been very, very strong this afternoon. Stands at the non-striker's end and looks on. Down the track comes Rohit, swings and misses. And so just 9 balls remaining in the innings for the Maryland Mavericks. And Praneeth has been off strike for some time, standing at the non-striker's end for the last few balls. This one is hit in the air towards the onside. The catch is taken. And so that's the end of Rohit. He goes well caught in the deep. And the wicket falls at 221. So it's now 221 for 3. As Wakas, the man in the deep. So Wakas takes a very clean catch. Well judged in the end. And so that sends back Rohit for a well-played 77 off just 46 balls make it. And so it's now 221 for 3 as the new batter walks to the middle. He gets a standing ovation. Does Rohit from his teammates in the players' pavilion. And they have seen that a tremendous job was executed on their behalf. A partnership comes to an end. A partnership of 151 from 78 balls. And that's paced the innings here for the Maryland Mavericks to a mammoth total, a record here in the U.S. Premier League, as they have pushed past 220. And so irrespective of what happens from here on out, 11 runs and over will be the ask from this point forward. So Enrique, so Imran So single to the new batter, who is Supreet, who comes to the middle. So a comedy of errors in the end. So 99 for Praneeth. There it is. He brings up 100, and it comes up in style here. And what an innings from Praneeth. Brilliant 100 scored here. One of the best we've seen, a breathtaking 100. And my word, what a player. 100 comes up from 46 balls, and he struck it at 219 strike rate. Has batted for 56 minutes, 9 sixes, 6 fours. The brilliance of Praneeth Nemarugomala comes to the fore, and he does it in fine style. And we've seen 2 brilliant 100s scored here on the afternoon. This one, perhaps the brighter of the two. It was effectively chanceless for the most part, but filled with power, aggression, and defense when it needed to have defense. And so we've seen quite an innings put together here by these batters on the Maryland Mavericks, team. So Jihan will bowl the final over here. So last over, and Jihan starts with a wide. So that will push the total up to 225. Supreet Madan, the man on strike here. And should be looking to rotate the strike over to the set batsman, but he comes down the track and hits this one well. And again, we see Imran Raja looking up. And as I've said, we probably will need to get him a neck brace after today, because he's had to look up quite a bit in that area. And we've seen now the 10th, the 19th six that's been struck. Most have gone in that particular region. And so his head has been up and down. His neck has had to be on a swivel. And so it's 231 for 3. We have not seen a total of this size in T20 cricket usually, but particularly here in the U.S. Premier League. Has this one outside the off stump. And now just 4 balls remain. 4 balls remain, 231 on the board. And what an effort here from the Maryland Mavericks. They have been dominant almost from ball 1. Have integrated good defense with power and aggression. And this one struck well, again up to the offside. And that fielder comes around quickly, Wakas Ali, and keeps the batters to just 1. And so the total pushes up to 232 with just 3 balls to go. And so Praneeth back on strike. And what else can he deliver worth the price of admission to this ground? And worth every bit of it. He has really played an innings of some brilliance. And has kept the bowling unit and the bowlers here for the Texas Cowboys guessing what else he's going to bring out to pull out of that bag of tricks. And he has pulled out 9 sixes and 6 fours, coupled with only 10 dot balls that he's faced in his innings. And so here he is on strike. Oh, looking to paddle one, so pulling out something else out of the bag of tricks. This time that one doesn't come off as he had intended, but the intent was clear. Execution perhaps not so much. One of the few times we've seen the execution not gone to perfection on the afternoon. And so just a couple of balls remaining here in the innings for the Maryland Mavericks. 2 balls to go. 232 runs on the board. A mammoth total. Slower ball. Swings and doesn't end up swinging because he was so well out in front of that. A well-disguised slower ball from Jihan Senanayake. And so now it comes down to the final ball of the innings. And this will determine what ultimate total Texas Cowboys will be chasing. And it's tugged down the ground for at least 1. They go for 1, and in fact it goes into the boundary. So they finish on a strong note here at 236 for 3. A brilliant innings comes to an end. Praneeth comes out at 105, not out from 49 deliveries. What a brilliant innings. And we've seen 2 brilliant hundreds on the afternoon so far. And he gets an applause from his teammates as he walks to the players' pavilion. And rightly so. Supreet Madan walks a few paces behind just to allow him to soak up the appreciation here. As he comes across the ropes, he's greeted by his entire playing pavilion. They surround him, and he deservedly gets the applause. It's 236 for 3 at the end of some batting performance by the Maryland Mavericks. So we'll pause here, come back on the other side of the break when the Texas Cowboys will be chasing 238, in fact 237 from 120 balls at an asking rate of just shy of 12 and over. Almost 12 and over will be the ask. So we'll pause and come back on the other side of the break. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have it. Oh, man. I tell you, man. That's the experience. Experience at work. That what happened? Oh, the bowler was running. Rinku, what's in the bag? So we're back for the run chase here at SUNY Purchase. The news is that Texas Cowboys will need 237 from 20 overs at an asking rate of 11.85 to cement victory. It will take a mammoth effort to do so. On the other hand, if Maryland Mavericks are able to defend it, which you think they would join the New Jersey Titans on the top of the table. Both teams would have having emerged victorious here with runs on the board. You would think Maryland Mavericks would be in the driver's seat here, but that said, certainly the expectation is that they should be able to defend 236. And so they start here. There's Gaurav with a dot. So Gaurav Rana, the man who has been given the ball straight up. And so his first delivery to Gaurav is defended. And this is cut away. Protection at third man. And so only a single in the end. And so this is going to be a big ask and will require a special innings from at least one batter on the Texas Cowboys team. It may require two, but at least one. And so the question is, whom will put their hand up to lead this chase? 237 is no small feat. A couple of special innings we've seen on the afternoon as we're joined by Danny Khan, president of the U.S. Cricket Umpires Association. And Danny, Would have had to do some work previously before coming into to watch cricket here this afternoon. So Danny, good to have you. Good to have you on board. I know you had to go take care of some business before you headed over to watch this second matchup. But as it turns out, you would have missed a couple of special innings. I'll tell you a little bit about both shortly. We saw one from Vandit Prajapati, who scored a brilliant 104 as he led a chase of 199 as New Jersey Titans chased down 198 posted by Florida Sharks with 10 balls to spare on the back of that brilliant 100 from Prajapati. And then in this particular game, Danny, you would have seen a special innings from a young man who would have posted the fastest 100 here on the afternoon, yet scored 105 from 49 balls, struck 9 sixes and 7 fours, 214 strike rate as he paced the innings here for the Maryland Mavericks. They have posted 236 in their innings. Down the track and swinging, and this one will fly towards the boundary. Didn't get a hold of it, but Bias is the indication. It missed everybody, missed the batsman and the keeper as well. And so it runs away for the first boundary. The boundary coming not off the bat, but if you're the Texas Cowboys, you'll take anything at this juncture. 11 or call it 12 and over is not an easy ask. And so 12 and over from the outset, if you don't get the 12 each over, every time it ticks over, that only raises that asking rate even further. And so question comes down to how close can they get, or can they overhaul 237? That's the last question to be answered, or that will be the last question to be answered on the afternoon. And the good bowling of Gaurav comes to an end. 7 runs from the over, but 4 of those runs would have been byes. And so it's 7 for none after 1.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So Kunal Baride has been given the ball. In fact, he gives the ball over to Vasav, and so Vasav has been. So Kunal, the captain, took the ball momentarily and then hands it off to his slow bowler. So Vasav will continue the attack here with Maryland Mavericks at 7 for none. And Gaurav is on 1. In fact, both batters are on 1. Imran would have faced 2 balls so far. Gaurav 4, as you can see on screen. So the left arm orthodox will be coming through and around and bowling to Imran Raja. And he's pulling this one with disdain. 1 bounce into the boundary, and that's 4 runs. So a good start. Imran Raja up and running with boundaries. So that's his first boundary, and the first boundary off the blade of any batter. And so into double figures goes the Texas Cowboys. They'll need a lot more of those if they should challenge 236. but they do have the quality, and Imran Raja is one of those who can deliver on the day. Gets another one, but he punches this one up to extra cover. Can't score this time, and so the total remains unchanged. Only a handful of matchups here taking place on the afternoon, and we'll cover as another single taken this time. We'll cover the games that are on tap for tomorrow, as we have another doubleheader that's slated to take place right here at beautiful, picturesque SUNY Purchase, the State University of New York campus of the Purchase College. And right here in Westchester, New York. Again, this one defended, can't score. And so if we should just take a quick gander at the schedule for tomorrow, it will feature at 10 a.m. Pennsylvania Cavaliers will take on the Carolina Eagles. And then at 2 p.m. the Washington Hawks will take on the New York Gothams. So that's slated for tomorrow, another doubleheader. And then next week, next Saturday the 17th, right here at SUNY Purchase, the Maryland Mavericks, this team here will take on New York Gothams. And the Florida Sharks will take on the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. So keep those on your radar, as a couple of dots here on the trot will close out the over. And so just 5 runs from it, it's 12 for none after 2. So Gaurav will continue on here. Over number 3 underway of this mammoth chase. 224 more runs are needed from 17.5 overs. Asking rate is 12.56, so almost 13. Now the ask. And there's the man on screen who did all the damage for the Maryland Mavericks. Praneeth scored one of the better hundreds we would have seen. There he is with the big number 27 on his back. And after a performance like that, his captain should give him the afternoon off. But nonetheless, he is still out in the middle, doing what cricketers do, come back to the scene of the crime and asking to deliver more on top of what you already delivered. And so it's trying to get through 20 overs quickly or to pick up 10 wickets, whichever should come soonest. And another good delivery, that one based on the reaction of the batter. Gaurav Rana looks like, rather Gaurav Jayaswal looks like the ball might have been kept a little bit lower than he would have expected. So what we had been lauding as true bounce on the surface, seemingly now somewhat unpredictable. When the ball is pitched up, you can get to the ball and hit with confidence through the line. When anything back of a length appears to sometimes be problematic. And this time no chance to deliver here. So the swinging of the arms below the waist, indicating that it's a dead ball from umpire Sundarish Iyer. And again, this one steered up into the offside. No chance again to score, but the return not the best, but it still is not bad enough where the batters can capitalize. And I want to say good afternoon to all those who are watching globally. This one courtesy of, you can see behind me there, the CBTF, fastest cricket news in the world, Speed News. And have to thank our sponsors for continuing to provide the support that local cricket needs, and not only on a regional basis but on a national basis. And so we're seeing cricket being played now across multiple states. Teams representing various parts of the U.S. Are making their way up to beautiful SUNY Purchase to battle for supremacy in the U.S. Premier League. This is phase 2 underway today. Down the ground and slapping this one up and over, extra cover. Classy looking shot from Jayaswal, as we see him here just taking a couple strides down the wicket. 1, 2, 3, and the third stride just opening up his body and allowing him access to the offside. And so it's up and over. And once it beats the fielder inside the 30-yard circle, once you beat the fielder inside the ring, fast outfield here, it's gonna go. And so that will complete another over 3 gone. 17 on the board for no loss. So you see the flags in the backdrop, as the flags of a number of the sponsors whom continue to support the cricket here. You see the scorers and the statisticians under the tent that was just shown. So that's where our commentary position would be located. In the commentary box, Rinku doing the scoring. We have Sandeep and his team. We have Danny Khan. We have all the leadership as this one is hit well, up and over, gone for the first maximum here. And so the first big strike that goes upstairs, and we see it there on the front foot, just down on one knee and hitting well, hitting through the line. And batters will now know once you hit through the line, chances are you will be successful. And so maximum to start over number 4 for the Texas Cowboys. They need a lot of those, and asked now to go at almost 13 and over. They'll need 1 or 2 of those, almost each over, for the rest of the way. And home will put their hand up here for Texas Cowboys. This should be an interesting chase if they choose to take it on. And wide is the call, as Imran Raja walking across the stumps there and still not able to get on to where the line of that delivery from Vasav. Swing, and this one is running down to the third man position. And so another single pushes Raja up to 14. And so now the sun temporarily disappearing behind the clouds here, momentarily. Still nice breeze blowing across, just a very slight breeze of that. And you can see the flags in the distance just blowing just gently, as this one is pulled into the onside for another boundary. And so Gaurav gets one again that looks to be keeping a bit low. Had to reach down to find it, but did get it out of the middle of the screws and right between the white tent that you're seeing there, which is the players' pavilion for the Maryland Mavericks, and the red tents, the battery of tents pulled together where our commentary position is situated. And so ball going just between both those two structures. And so getting off strike is Gaurav. He pushes into double figures doing so. And so now 30 on the board. Still a long way to go. 207 more runs are needed. And you can see it there on screen. 16.2 overs to go. 12.7 almost the ask. And so asked to go at 13 and over, no small feat. And Vasav Desai has conceded 18 so far in his spell, 11 deliveries. This is the second over he's bowling. 13 of those 18 though coming in this particular over. And this one is chopped up to the offside, can't score. And a good bit of work, smart bit of cricket in the outfield that completes the over. 13 from it. It's 30 for none after 4.
As per the performance of the previous year, we can see that. हाँ बेबी, कुछ नहीं.
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
Breakfast भूल गया. कर लूँगा.
इतनी बार बोला है, ऐसे मत लेट किया करो.
3 minutes.
अभी तुम्हारे पेट में एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
जाएगी and then
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
बेबी की चिट चैट 3 मिनट्स में इम्पॉसिबल. मगर MTR का 3 मिनट उपमा जस्ट ऐड हॉट वाटर, मिक्स, कवर और 3 मिनट्स में रेडी. MTR 3 मिनट ब्रेकफास्ट, इंडिया का ब्रेकफास्ट.
So Pura Berman has been given the ball. And he starts with a full ball outside the off stump. That's played up to short cover, can't score. And so Pura, the first change, if you will. Again, all the bowlers bowling from one end. And so we started with a couple of overs each for Gaurav, Rana, and Vasav Desai. Paramendra Berman, the third bowler to be used here. And so he starts with a couple of dots. And every time a dot ball is bowled, it makes the equation that much more difficult for the Texas Cowboys. This would be a run chase that cannot stand a speed bump. They'll need clear sailing the entire way. And already we've seen 3 dots in this over already. And again, almost every over here from the Texas Cowboys will require a boundary of some sort. Otherwise, it does put their effort under immense pressure. This run chase is not an easy one. As just almost batted out of the game from the first innings by the Maryland Mavericks. Drives and drives well. Oh, good stop at mid-off rather. And had he not plucked that one down, would have been still running towards the boundary. And so good, smart bit of cricket in the outfield. Looks like Supreet Madan. And keeping the batter to just 1. So well done. And again, every time the ball doesn't find the boundary, the equation goes in favor of the Maryland Mavericks. cut well, straight up to backward point. Can't score. And so a brilliant over this, only one from it so far. And so Poro comes to the party here, supporting the bowlers that have come before. 2 overs to Gaurav Rana, only eight runs conceded. Oh, this time this one is hit well, and it's gonna go the distance. It's gone the distance, and so it doesn't end on a strong note for the Mavericks. But Texas Cowboys will take the boundary. It completes the over, 7 runs from it. It's 37 for none after 5, chasing 237 needed for victory.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So we're back with the action, and 37 runs are on the board, and now Praneeth has been given the ball here, so he has done the work with the bat, and so now he will replace Vasav Desai. Desai bowled 2 overs, no maiden, none for 18, and so Praneeth marks off his run up here. As we saw Vasav on screen, just giving some directions to some of his teammates. And there is Vasav with the number 12 on his back. And this time it's allowed appeal. And not out is the indication. So it's single as the moves the total up to 38. It brings Imran Raja back onto strike. Raja on 20 has faced 12 balls so far, so has gone at a reasonably good strike rate, 167. And on the other hand, strike rate for Gaurav Jayaswal just 63, so going at less than run a ball, 12 from 19 so far. Swing and a miss, and so a good start here from the Centurion. 7 runs and over, just the going rate at the moment for the Texas Cowboys, so starting to fall further and further behind the original ask, as this one will elude the fielder at backward point, and it will go to the boundary. A well-needed boundary for Raja on this occasion. Will be the beneficiary, and so he pushes up to 24, and the score up to 42. So slow sledding by virtue of the equation that the Texas Cowboys face, as this one is pulled through the onside. Around comes it looks like it's Poro, and he can't cut it off, and it goes into the boundary for 4 more. So good looking runs, back-to-back boundaries for Imran Raja. So he has put his hand up here to at least look to carry the fight. And ball outside the off stump. This one finds the gap as well. Could be more. Could be another boundary here. In fact, it's pulled back just inside. And in the end, terrible running on the part of the batters, as they assumed that it would have gone all the way to the boundary. In the end, only a single taken. And again, given the equation, can ill afford to leave any run out in the middle, and may have given away one. Oh, down the track, and so Praneeth strikes. Gaurav has to go. He was down the track looking to swing for the fences and ran past one. And so Praneeth picks up a wicket to go with his century. And the work done expertly by Tulkir Hassan. He picks the bails off, and so the first wicket falls. It's 47 for 1.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So the new batter strides out to the middle. Slow walk, and it's Jiran Sananayake. So he arrives out in the middle. Jihan comes to the middle with the Texas Cowboys needing another 190 from 84 balls or 14 overs. Asking rate of 13.6. 13.6 is the ask. And so almost 14 and over. No rest for the weary here. Texas Cowboys will have to have their foot to the metal, or the pedal to the metal. So it's 47 for 1. So the end of the power play signaled by umpire Iyer, and so it's 47 for 1. So Jihan is, in fact, Imran is the man on strike now, and so the bowler here is, looks like number 31, Supreet. So Supreet has been introduced. And so second ball here is steered away for a single. And all the stumps are taken down by Hassan. And of course, umpire Steve Kalu not appreciate when the stumps are broken, all of them. Usually if the keeper collects and just try to pick the bails, or to knock one of the stumps backwards. And a lot of work here to repair the stumps. And so Steve Kalu stands over. So 48 then the total on the board. You can see again 189 runs required from here. It's an asking rate just under 14, and so the asking rate continued to inch up after each over. Again, at the start it was 11.85 was the ask at the outset, and so not the easiest of chases by any means, and already the Texas Cowboys have fallen well behind. They're going at just 7.6 runs and over, so 4.5 almost, or make it 4 just for the sake of round numbers, behind the original ask, which is then in turn caused the requirement to push up closer to 14 per over. Another one goes here. Jihan doesn't last long, as we see here Supreet coming around the wicket and just stepping straight down. In fact, he's trapped on the crease, and a confident appeal, and umpire Iyer wastes no time in sending Jihan on his way. The second wicket falls, and so the Cowboys have suffered a double strike here as they lose the very hard-hitting Jihan Senanayake. He goes without scoring, and Texas Cowboys in a spot of bother here, struggling at 48 for 2. So Johan is the batter who strides to the middle. Samara Wikrama. And so he will take guard from umpire Sundaresh Hire. And he will face 3 balls remaining here in over number 7, as Maryland Mavericks look to inflict further damage here on the Texas Cowboys. Starts with a quality delivery outside the off stump. Pushing forward tentatively is Johan, as the ball whizzes by the outside edge and murmurs across the fielders in the general vicinity off the 30-yard circle. And this time he's punching this one up to long off to get off the mark and to get off strike. So 49 then the total, with 1 ball. Whoa, that will bring up 50. That will bring up 50 for the Texas Cowboys. It goes all the way, and a big strike by Imran Raja. It's now 55 for the loss of 2 wickets. Was hit by the by Imran Raja. 6 ball, yeah, almost. So dot 1, out, then dot, and then 1, and then 6. First ball was a dot. Yeah. After wicket, yeah. The first ball after the wicket was a dot, and then 1 to Johan. All right, guys. The Crick Clubs is frozen for a bit, guys. So yeah, so we might take the score off the screen for the moment until we can get it working again. Then 1 to Johan, and then 6 to Imran. Yeah, I'll keep score here, and then I'll get you caught up once it's resets. So Praneeth to continue, 55 for 2 the total. And so Johan Samara Wikrama on strike. He's on one so far. Oh! Just out of the reach. Diving across was Praneeth. And looking to pick up wicket number 2. And let's have a look here and see if we can see. He was diving for all he was worth, trying to get hands to it. In the end, not able to do so. And so Johan Streaky gets off, in fact, doubles up his total. He goes up to 2. And it brings Imran Raja back onto strike. Raja is Praneeth is the bowler, so Imran. Oh, and he hits this one well, coming around and can't get there. And so Imran will take his tally up to 40. And the score up to 60 for 2. So ball short, angling down the leg side. And he hit it well. Vasav was out in the deep. Couldn't get hands to it. So 60 then for 2. 40 to Imran Raja. Gets one that he's tugging behind square for another single. And so Johan will come back onto strike. So over number 8 in progress here. Partnership of 13 as Imran Raja and Johan Samara Wikrama look to build again. 61 the total for the loss of 2 wickets. 41 to Imran Raja. We're in over number 8. And he's bowled him. So Praneeth picks up his 2nd wicket. This time Johan has to go. A ball that seems to have skidded on, might have kept low. Let's look at the replay here as he was on the back foot. And yeah, ball just skidded on. Straight delivery, beaten all ends up. And so that's the end of Johan. He doesn't last long. It's now 61 for 3. And Praneeth has come back to take a couple of wickets here to go with his century and really cementing his position perhaps.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead
61 or 60, 61. So Imran Raja, the batsman, out as he is been bowled. So the new batsman is Waqas Ali. So it's 61 for 3. We're in over number 8. 1 ball remains here. And this one again steered up into the offside. And this time no chance to score. And so that will close out the over. A successful one for the Maryland Mavericks. And so after 8, it's 61 for 3 Texas Cowboys, needing another 176 to emerge victorious.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
Single here. So the asking rate has now inched closer to 15 and over. Punched up into the offside again, and this time fielder is not able to field cleanly, allows the batters to take advantage. So that takes the total up to 63. So 174 more runs are needed. Only 70 balls remain, or 11 overs after this one. And so that means it's in effect 15 and over. And again, with an offer, a ball outside the off stump. And the introduction of Supreet Madan and Praneeth have effectively dried up the boundaries here. And as we say, commentators curse. As we've said that, immediately comes a boundary. And a well-needed one off the bat of Johan. So Johan goes up to 7. And the asking rate, an even 15 on screen. This is well struck. This one will go. It's gone over the ropes at long on. And that's a maximum for Johan. And we'll need some more of those. We'll need them in bunches. And so the die is not cast here for the Texas Cowboys, but they have a long way to go. And not a lot of resources at their disposal in terms of opportunities on the basis of number of delivers remaining. Again, he goes. And this time he'll succeed once again. A couple of big strikes from Johan to finish the over. And so a big over in the end. 18 coming from it. And so it's 79 now for 3 after 9 overs. And that's the Texas Cowboys chasing 237 needed for victory. So Praneeth has picked up a couple of wickets here. 2 overs, 2 for 16. And so he comes in here looking to inflict more damage here. And again, just Wakas just getting off strike. Johan now seems to have settled a bit, looking to be batting with some more intent here. Last over did take advantage, smashed 2 out of the ground. And it's this time a swing and a miss, but clearly you can tell that Johan's mindset has changed somewhat as he now looks to exert some bit of aggression. And the variation here from Praneeth has him a bit indecisive, not really sure On that occasion, you could tell that the confidence wasn't there in the shot attempt. And this time, ball goes up above the eye line. So flighted and driven down the ground just for one. And so he gets off strike. Only 2 runs conceded in the over so far. As again, we see our title sponsor, the CBTF, fastest news in cricket. Can't say enough about what they do. And this one is again going through the man position there at backward square. And the batters are able to scamper through for one. But ball went straight up to towards the backward square. And didn't have to move an inch. But in the end, not able to collect it cleanly. 1 ball remaining here in over number 9. And so this is driven up into the offside. And so Johan will keep strike. It's 4 off the over. And so at the midway point, it's 83 for 3 with 154 more needed from 10 overs at an asking rate of 15.4.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So the action continues. And Saprit has been replaced here with Venkat Sai. And so Venkat delivers his first ball. Now up for the second. Swinging across the line is Johan, going for a big attempted pull through the onside. Missed the ball completely, but clearly you can see from the effort that the ball is there to be hit. Oh, gets a full toss, and this could be a no ball, and it's gone all the way. And we'll wait for a signal, if any. No signal yet. It's gone for 6, but no ball is confirmed now. And so that is a maximum to Johan, and so that pushes the score along. 7 runs added. And again, this one is played into the onside for another single. So 91 the total. That, in fact, with that single, it pushes the score up to 92. And Johan is looking to get a beat on, to get a move on with things. 28 from 15 balls. And this will be a wide, so not the best over here from Venkat Sai. And we get confirmation that another wide has been bowled. And so already 10 off the over, with only 2 legal deliveries recorded. And this will be another one. And so Venkat Sai, intent on giving it all back here in over number 11. As he is struggling to get the ball just on the wicket, let alone on a good line and length. Still 143 more runs are needed. And this one is driven up to long on. And a single easily taken as Gaurav Rana comes quickly in. Down the track, and another wide ball here. And so the advancing Johan might have thrown Venkat off as he looked to make the adjustment and sent through another wide. So wides in this over starting to add up. This one is taking a thick outside edge and running up towards the deep backward square area, the deep backward point. And so it's gone away for another boundary. And so 17 off this over now with still a couple of balls to bowl. Venkat Sai under pressure here and giving away a big over. The 100 comes up actually for Texas Cowboys, and the 100 comes up in over number 11. And still a fair way to go. Big asks yet, but this is a good over that contributes to the effort. And man comes in and puts it down. So the Maryland Mavericks doing themselves no favors here. Has another couple of runs. Ball hit well in the air. Went to hand at a comfortable height. The fielder out in the deep. Not able to get hands to it. And so that single will close out the over. 20 runs from it. It's 103 for 3 at the end of 11.
As per the performance of the previous year, we can see that. हाँ बेबी, कुछ नहीं.
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
Breakfast भूल गया. कर लूँगा.
इतनी बार बोला है ऐसे मत लेट
So
किया करो.
3 minutes.
अभी तुम्हारे पेट में एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
जाएगी.
रखूँ. हाँ.
बेबी की चिट चैट 3 मिनट्स में इम्पॉसिबल. मगर MTR का 3 मिनट उपमा जस्ट ऐड हॉट वाटर, मिक्स, कवर और 3 मिनट्स में रेडी. MTR 3 मिनट ब्रेकफास्ट, इंडिया का ब्रेकफास्ट.
So Vasev Desai comes back into the attack here. He's bowled 2 overs for 18 runs in his first spell. And so being called back to try to pull things back here for the Maryland Mavericks. As we've seen a couple of big overs from the Texas Cowboys. And this is hit well down the ground. And coming around was Garavana, tossing it somehow across the relay throw, and in the end the batters pick up a single. So it brings Johan back onto strike. He's on 36. He's batted well for his 36. Struck a couple of boundaries and 3 sixes. Swinging and missing here. Somehow that ball would have eluded the keeper and just missed the stump. Didn't look like it missed by much. And so it runs away. Could be runs. No signal from the umpire. So it may have been a missed opportunity, perhaps. Maybe it did take the edge. 106 for 3 then. This ball punched up into the offside, finds the gap. And so that will go away for a boundary. And so 4 more to Wakas. And in fact, that four to him is his first boundary in his inning so far. Has faced just 7 balls for those 9 runs. And so a partnership now of 49 between these two. So they're starting to blossom here. Johan and Wakas, 49 from 24 balls. Most of the damage being done by Johan Samara Wikrama. And he has really come to the party, supported Imran Raja. Raja posted 41 before he was dismissed. This is hit well. And this one is going to go. It's gone the distance. And so a 50-run partnership comes up here, and it comes off the blade of Wakas. A huge strike. Ball missing his length was Vasav. And Wakas takes full advantage and slaps it up and over the long-on region into the parking lot area. So he goes into double figures with that strike. 55-run partnership, 55 from 25, and somehow, even after that delivery, one of the fielders out here is saying good bowling. And so just trying to encourage his bowler, because that definitely was not a good ball in the end. The over comes to an end, 13 from it. It's 116 for 3 with 12 gone.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
Did they play league cricket at this ground? So another change of bowling here as, Venkat continues. His first over cost him 20. And somehow the captain has had the confidence to give him the ball right back. So Baride riding this horse. And he comes back actually well to start. Starts with a couple of dots. So that is what the Mavericks team doctor has ordered. A dose of dot balls will help their situation. 121 more are needed. Big hit down the ground. This will go one bounce into the side screen. And so that's 4 runs to Johan. And that will take him up to 41. And Johan has looked the part here. He's looked a little tentative initially, but has continued to blossom. And we've seen a really good effort here on the part of Johan. He's been one of 2 batters to carry the fight here. This could be a wide ball. We get the confirmation from umpire Iyer. And score pushes along. But if we should take a look at the scorecard. Whoa! That one is hit well. That one will stay hit. A punishing blow struck, and it's gone the distance. And my word, what a strike. And Johan pushes up to 47 now, and pushing on the verge of a milestone here. And can they pull this back? It will be really interesting. 47 from 25. 110 needed from 43 balls. The big hit in Johan Samara Wikrama out in the middle. It would take an enormous effort, but an interesting one that would certainly be very entertaining to watch if they should truly make a chase here or make more of this. And so tremendous beginning. In fact, a tremendous recovery stage here by Johan Samara Wickrama as they look to get themselves back in a position of contention here, the Texas Cowboys. 43 balls remaining, or 7.1 overs. And Venkat has really conceded quite a few. In 11 balls, he's given away 31 runs. Down the track, another one! And this one is up and over, and that probably should be the end of Venkat. Doubtful we'll see him back bowling. And as he has been taken to the cleaners here, 17 off this over. And so it's 133 for 3, and that's 50 for Johan Samarawickrama. And 50 comes up in good time from just 26 balls. He's batted for 28 minutes. Strike rate of 204, 5 sixes, 3 fours. And we've seen some brilliant batting on the day. It started with Vandit. It continued with Praneeth. And now it's the Johan show, as he has really put a blistering last 2-3 overs together and has really made a good recovery here for the Texas Cowboys.
As per the performance of the previous year, we can see that. हाँ बेबी, कुछ नहीं.
सुबह क्या भूल गए?
Breakfast भूल गया. कर लूँगा.
इतनी बार बोला है, ऐसे मत लेट
So
किया करो.
3 minutes.
अभी तुम्हारी ट्रीट में एसिडिटी हो
बेबी
जाएगी.
रखूँ. हाँ.
बेबी की चिट-चैट 3 minutes में? Impossible. मगर MTR का 3 minute उपमा. Just add hot water, mix, cover और 3 minutes में ready. MTR 3 minute breakfast. India का breakfast.
So Praneeth comes back to finish up here. He's bowled 3 overs, 2 for 20, so he's been the pick of the bowlers so far. Just one of 2 bowlers to pick up any wickets. The other being Sapreet Madan, who was bowled 1 for 26 from 2. Oh, and he picks up a third. So that's the end of Wakas. And so Praneeth, and anytime the captain needs a wicket or needs something to happen, he reaches for his trump card. And on this occasion, it's Praneeth once again to the rescue. And he picks up his 3rd wicket, as I mentioned. And so now 133 for 4 as Praneeth strikes in over number 14.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता. इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com. यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो. विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So the new batter strides to the middle. We'll try to pick him up momentarily. Comes to the middle with Texas Cowboys at 133 for 4. And I think it might be Enrique Singh, and in fact it's Enrique Singh as he turns around here. So Singh strides to the middle, and he will be the man on strike facing Praneeth. And Praneeth, what a day he has had with both bat and ball. Tremendous all-round performance. And could not have, he probably has not had many better days than this playing cricket in his entire life. As not only did he star with the bat, has come back and starred with the ball as well. And still looking for more. He's in the final over of his spell. Bowling at 3 for 20. And he sent a couple of big hitters packing. And he's forced to defend here is Enrique. And with wickets comes a stem and run flow. And so for the moment, Praneeth has stymied this run chase a bit. Ball outside the off stump, a swing and a miss. And so a couple of dots here on the back of the wicket that was taken with the first ball in the over. And so now what is the equation here for the Texas Cowboys? Do they see Praneeth off? He only has 3 balls remaining, and then take their chances with the rest of this bowling unit for the Maryland Mavericks. The Mavericks do not appear to have much depth in bowling beyond these first 3-4 bowlers, starting with Gaurav Rana, Vasav Desai, Pora Burman, and Praneeth himself. And so they'll have to find a couple of overs from somewhere. They've asked Venkat Sai, and he was taken apart. He went for 37 off 2 overs. And so with 6 overs to go after this one, they'll need to find a couple of bowlers. Vasav has 1, Gaurav has 2. So that will be 3 out of the 6 that will remain. Supreet will have 2. That will be 5 perhaps. This one is upstairs. And this one has gone the distance again from Johan. And so he is in a no-nonsense mood at the moment. He goes up to 59, the score up to 140. And so now 97 needed from 37. And are we seeing another special innings being played here by another batter? Hits one in the air. Fielder takes it, and a big wicket. This Johan Samarawikrama, who was on the go, and they needed that in the worst way. And it goes up to Kunal, the captain. He takes it comfortably. And so Johan falls for 59. And that could well be the last nail in the coffin here of the Texas Cowboys. As not sure how much depth will remain beyond Johan. But a brilliant innings comes to an end. 59 of 28 balls. And so it's 140 for 5. So Ramsaram Navir Singh strides to the middle. And he comes in here with the score at 140 for 5. 97 required from 6 overs. Asking rate over 16. And so the bowler here is Pora, who has come back. So Pora Burman comes back into the attack. 1 over for 7. And so now you would think with 6 overs to go, again, Pora should have 3, Gaurav 2, and Vasav Desai 1. That would be the 6. And so they needed 2 from somewhere. They got 2 from Venkat, 2 from Supreet Madan. And so perhaps, as I mentioned, we would have seen the back of Venkat, as he would have been the most expensive of all the bowlers used on the afternoon. And still a long way to go, almost 100 to get from 35. The equation does not favor the Texas Cowboys. They've lost half their batting unit. So we're into the tail here, one might suggest. Top order removed. Enrique Singh is a batsman of quality. Navir Singh, Navir Ramsaran can also be a quality player. But again, requiring effectively 2 or 3 boundaries each over is not an easy task to accomplish. And he's getting a good ball. So Pora Minjo Berman, man has a lot of experience behind him as well. Just ambles up to the wicket, bowling around the wicket to the left-hander. And gingerly running through is Enrique Singh, doesn't seem to be at full fitness. And we see the throw, top of the stumps, but batter was well home. So just 33 balls to go in what has been a magnificent opening day of Phase 2 of the U.S. Premier Cricket League, being played here at the beautiful SUNY Purchase College campus, a field that's just adjacent to the Performing Arts Center as the backdrop. And we have another doubleheader on tap for tomorrow. And again, as I mentioned, this Phase 2 will continue for several weeks coming. And so tomorrow's matches are the Maryland Mavericks playing here. Will take on the Texas Cowboys. In fact, rather, tomorrow the Pennsylvania Cavaliers will take on the Carolina Eagles. And the Washington Hawks will take on New York Gothams. Those are the, correction. Pennsylvania Cavaliers will take on the Carolina Eagles, and the Washington Hawks will take on the New York Gothams. Both games, first one playing at 10, second one playing at 2. So the Pennsylvania and Carolina would play at 10. Washington and New York will play at 2 p.m. So that's tomorrow. And then next week, the 16th, we'll see Maryland Mavericks taking on New York Gothams, and then Florida Sharks will take on the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. Those matches will be played next Saturday here at this fantastic venue. On Sunday, the Texas Cowboys will take on the Washington Hawks. And then also on Sunday the 17th, the Titans will take on the Carolina Eagles. So that's next weekend. So if you're at home and you're watching and you would prefer to be here in person, you can actually come. It's a very picturesque field, a beautiful area to watch cricket. It's away from a lot of the vagaries that one might see in the city where traffic is flowing by at Baisley Pond Park, Gateway Park. This one is a secluded venue, but beautiful outfield, conducive for cricket. Boundaries are short, which is conducive also for exciting cricket. So this one again played up into the onside this time. And so single to Singh. Pushes him up to 3. It brings Ramsaran Navir Singh back onto strike. And Ramsaran has faced just a couple of balls so far, but the equation requires more than just ones and twos. Boundaries are needed. And Ramsaran not keen on delivering boundaries just yet. Another wide ball is delivered here. So that pushes the total along. And this one is hit well, but protection not long off. And so again, only ones and twos are on offer at the moment. And so Maryland Mavericks will take that all day long. 31 balls remain, still 92 runs required. And so the proposition of this task does not get any easier. A mammoth task from the very outset. Full toss, hit through the offside. Protection at deep extra cover. And so again, another over comes to a conclusion without a boundary being conceded. So just 6 runs from it. And so it's 15 gone. It's 146 for 5. With 5 overs remain, 18 runs per over the ask here at beautiful SUNY Purchase. So we're into the fast 5, the final 5 overs of day number 1. Opening day of phase 2 action in the US Premier League. Fantastic work done by all to not only have prepared an immaculate facility, having the boundary ropes just spectacularly adorned with the monikers of teams and sponsors, a professional setup here, and just a fantastic effort on the part of all involved, and well supported by some great sponsors whom not only supported the phase 1 of this US Premier League, but have been behind this idea, this concept right from the outset. And that has contributed immensely to the outcomes, to the successful outcomes that we've seen, as another single moves the total along, but not at the rate at which the Cowboys will require it, as Gaurav has been brought back into the attack. Gaurav Rana. So his first over, in fact his first spell of 2 overs cost him 9 runs. And so he's coming back here to finish up. Still 90 runs to get. And the run chase, for all intents and purposes, effectively off. As another single up into the offside, as Vasov comes in quickly. And to keep the batters just a single. Here is Gaurav. And this one again is well struck. This time will he find the gap at extra cover? He doesn't. And so good work in the deep. Keeps the batters again to just 1. And so Mavericks are content to just taking ones, or just conceding ones. And positioned out on the boundary, doing a lot of work out there. And has done well to keep the ball from crossing the boundary, and has done that on quite a few occasions. A big heave by Ram Saran, makes no contact. So we're winding down day 1 action, and tomorrow, if tomorrow is anything like today, we promise to see a run feast and some exciting batting, as this one played up into the offside, only as far as Derendra, and no chance to add to the total there. So Texas Cowboys on the verge of crossing the 150 mark, but they're still well off course from what is required. Asking rate up over 21. Swing and a miss. And so that will close out the over. Just 3 runs from it. And so a big over from a Maryland Mavericks standpoint. Only 4 overs remain. 88 runs to get. Asking rate up to 22 and over.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So Poro to continue has conceded just 13 in his 2 overs so far. And this one is struck well. And good smart bit of cricket there. Keeping the ball on the square. So no chance to score. Just 23 balls to go. And so it looks to be all Maryland Mavericks now, as just another single conceded out to Supreet in the deep at long off. And that brings up the 150, but in anticlimactic fashion, as 150 from 55, in fact 150 for 5. We're into the 17th over here. As you see, Rinku to the left of me there in the box, and has had to do a lot of work today. In fact, you might be the MVP of the day. You've scored the most runs on the day. You've scored almost 800 runs on the day. Who has scored more than you, as this one crosses the boundary at deep extra cover? And so 154 then with 21 balls to go. And one of the sponsors here, the MTR, Pure and Perfect, since 1924. And they're a provider of beverages, dairy beverage with real bits of almonds, turmeric, Batman drink, as one of their products. And so this one is going away for runs, it appears. No signal coming from, in fact, wides is now the call. And so a couple of wides will be added here to push the Cowboys total along. Enrique Singh, the man on strike, gets a full toss. This one is hit well up and over extra cover. Just missing his length was Pora Berman, and it's gone a long way in the distance. And that's the first maximum off the blade of Enrique Singh. Pushes the total up to 162. With just 20 balls to go. Not a lot of deliveries remain. 75 still to get. Run chase seemingly well and truly off. Swing and a miss. And so one less delivery to complete, or one less delivery available to the Cowboys batters. Again, if you weren't able to watch all the action today from SUNY Purchase, have to go back to match number 1 on the day, where a special innings was played by Vandit Parajapati. Brilliant 100 is scored. And then in the first innings of this matchup between Mavericks and Cowboys, it was the Praneeth show. Praneeth Nemaru Gamala. Nemaru Gamala scored 105 not out from 49 balls. So he saw Vandit's 104 and raised them 105 unbeaten. And so 2 special innings. But the if you had to give the edge to one, certainly that of Praneeth's really had no equal on this afternoon. 163 for 5. So it's Gaurav Rana again down the track, and this time he's gone. So down the track and swinging for the fences is Enrique Singh. And so he has to go. He loses his off stump. And in fact, his leg stump this time. And he had to go for it. And no choice with just 18 balls to go. And so that's the end of Enrique. 163 for 6. 163 for 6. So the new batter who comes to the middle is Taj Mohammed. And he comes in with just 17 balls to go, 74 runs to get, 26 and over is the ask. So unless he plans to come and hit a bunch of sixes, this run chase is done and dusted for all intents and purposes. And so question is, what will be the ultimate margin of victory? Certainly net run rate factors in when you consider separating teams as this tournament plays on. And so with that in mind, Maryland Mavericks will look to try to get as close. In fact, the Texas Cowboys will look to get as close as possible to the total posted by Maryland Mavericks in order to sort of mute the margin of victory here. And that's probably the only thing of further interest, of any real interest, as the outcome here seems to be a foregone conclusion, as this one played up into the deep long off region for another single. And so just 16 balls to go. Taj Mohammed up and running. He is off to us with a single. And so 164 the total for the loss of 6 wickets. Just 4 wickets in hand, but more importantly, only 16 balls remaining, as we're into the 18th over here at SUNY Purchase. The Purchase College, located here in the Valhalla, Harrison region of Westchester County. Not too far from the White Plains area, for those familiar with Westchester and White Plains, Mamaroneck. Those are towns that many would be familiar with. And on the other side, so now we are back with the scores updated on screen. So Gaurav just looking to finish things up here. Ball played up into the offside by Ram Saran for a single, and so that will bring Taj back onto strike with just 14 balls to go, or 2 overs after this one. 40, in fact 80 overs of cricket coming down to these final 14 balls. Exciting batting all day long. Started in the morning, continued into the afternoon. And while the margin of victory here will be significant for the Texas Cowboys, it does not understate, or it does not overstate the certainly the batting prowess that we saw on display on the day, and really some quality innings played. And even the swashbuckling innings from Johan Samaro Wikrama was a special innings. He needed a lot in there. Another one is taken out here as Ram Saran is knocked over. And so wicket falls to complete over number 18. It's now 166 for 7. So just 12 balls remaining on opening day's action. Again, a reminder that the action continues tomorrow right here with a couple of good games slated. The Pennsylvania Cavaliers will take on the Carolina Eagles. That matchup will take place at 10 a.m. And then at 2 p.m., the Washington Hawks will take on the home team, the New York Gothams. And promises to be quite the doubleheader. And then the action continues again back here next week. Consecutive days of doubleheaders. On Saturday the 16th, the Maryland Mavericks will take on the New York Gothams, and the Florida Sharks will take on the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. And then on the 17th, the Texas Cowboys will take on the Washington Hawks, and the New Jersey Titans will take on the Carolina Eagles. So keep those on your social radars, on your social calendars. It all happens right here at SUNY Purchase. And it's not that far from the city, folks. If you're in New York City, in and around the New York City area, should make your way up to SUNY Purchase for good and exciting local cricket. Here is Poro to bowl over number 19. And so he starts with the ball outside the off stump with an offer, and it's slapped through the offside for a maximum. And so that will push Taj up to 8. And 11 balls will remain. Ball with an offer. And Taj, again at this juncture, batters are just swinging for the fences. And so he obliges to pick up his first maximum. Maximum number 11 in this innings for the Texas Cowboys. And each of these will get Texas Cowboys closer to their total, so will reduce the significant margin of victory here for the Maryland Mavericks. And again, when you're factoring in that net run rate will be a factor, or maybe a factor at some point. If you are a Texas Cowboy, you will want to see this one through all the way to the end and try to put as many on the board as possible, as a replacement ball will be required here. So just 11 balls remaining here in the innings. And so a replacement ball back with Poro. And this one is hit again through the offside. Could be another boundary here. In fact, it does cross the boundary in the extra cover region. And so that will take Taj into double figures, up to 12. 176 then the total on the board. And so 176 is not a bad total in and of itself. As this time not able to get this one away. So if you were just to look at the scoreboard and not see how much Maryland Mavericks put up on the board, and you saw 176 for 7 with still 9 balls to go, you would think that Texas Cowboys had a good day. This one in the air and taken at short third man. And so that's the end of Taj Mohammed. He goes for 12. It's now 176 for 8. So the man who took the catch is Mahesh Kesaka, the vice captain. He comes up with it. And so Taj goes. .176 for 8, and the new batter walks to the middle. So it looks to be Safwan Ahmed that walks to the middle. Okay, actually, in fact, correction, looks like it's Lijo Forgesi. And he's bowled. So he comes in, gets one ball, and heads right back out. And so he doesn't last long. And so that long walk. Yeah, the new man coming. No, yeah, the new person coming in will be the person on strike. Sufyan, yeah. Actually, Sufyan is not on strike. It's Safwan that's on strike, yeah. So the final ball here in over number 19. Still a good score, as I was mentioning before, the double wicket strike by Pora Berman. If you looked at this total on the board just in absolute terms, 176, not a bad total to put on the board in any T20 game with still an over to spare after this. But in the context of chasing 237, they're 61 runs away from that requirement. And so in relative terms, a huge margin of defeat here. But in absolute terms, it's not bad. So actually, the over concluded, and a new bowler comes back. Venkat comes back into the attack here. And so Venkat started with a wide, and then the batsman defends here. So a couple of dots to follow, and so 177 for 9. And this one is driven up into the offside. So away goes Safwan. So he's up and running. It brings Sufyan back onto strike. It's 178 for 9. We're in the final over. Final over of day one, opening day of the U.S. Premier League Phase 2. And so things have wound down here to a conclusion. And this one is hit well. This one should go. It's gone all the way. And Sufyan is up and running with a maximum. And that will take the total up to 184, 184, for the loss of 9 wickets. And Sufyan getting into the act. How much more can they score? How can they get this run chase, this margin of victory under 50? They're trailing by 53 at the moment. Another shot like that or two could reduce that equation. And as we've mentioned, while the outcome is a foregone conclusion, the margin of victory could have some implications down the road, given the net run rate scenarios that can come into play at times. And that could factor actually on both sides, to be fair, for the winning team as well as the team that ends up on the losing side on the afternoon. Another wide ball sent through. And so 185 for 9. Hit well. Again, this one is up and gone for another maximum. And so Sufyan has come down at the end here with a couple of massive strikes. And there you see it. Now you see it, now you don't. As it's hit into the distance. And 15 off this over so far. And so Venkat Sai has really taken a beating here on the afternoon. Has conceded 52 runs, so he has conceded a half century. And a dubious distinction as a bowler to give away that many in just 3 overs. And so I had mentioned after he bowled his second over that would have been the last of him, but his skipper has confidence. Kunal Baride deciding that, hey, he can take one more. And here it is again. This time the catch is not taken. And he should have had a wicket for all that he has suffered on the afternoon. Should have had a wicket. And perhaps that's the only thing that Praneeth has done wrong on the day. As he's picked up 3 wickets, has scored 100, and should have had a catch. But that's the end of the proceedings here. A single is taken to close things out. And so it's 192 for 9 at the end of the innings for the Texas Cowboys. And so victory to Maryland Mavericks by 44 runs. So 44-run win here at SUNY Purchase College. And that brings to a conclusion 2 magnificent games on tap this morning into the afternoon. You saw the New Jersey Titans winning emphatically against the Florida Sharks by 7 wickets with 10 balls to spare. And now you see a clinical display. You've seen a clinical display here by the Maryland Mavericks as they win by 44 runs against the Texas Cowboys. So that brings us to a conclusion. On behalf of Matthew Achaibar, Lenny Achaibar, and myself, Carl Bennett, it's bye for now from SUNY Purchase. We'll perhaps take a break here, and there could be a few interviews on the other side of the break. And so I'll bid goodbye and farewell until next time. From
All right, after this fantastic match, right here with me is the co-founder, Dinkle Patel. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks.
All right, absolutely. He's here to give away, you can see the trophy right here in his hand for Man of the Match, Praneeth. Praneeth, please do come over. A big round of a big round of applause for Praneeth because he just scored 100 and of course he got 3 wickets. So here we go, the Man of the Match for today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for this beautiful award. I just did my job. I tried to be, very positive from the get-go, and I thank my captain and the management for giving me an opportunity in phase 2. So, glad it worked out. Thank you.
We are really glad to meet you, and of course we are going to call your captain. So Kunal, please do come in and join us in the celebration. All right. So, how much you are loving it?
I'm loving it. We won by a pretty comprehensive margin. I thought we still had some areas to work on towards the end. But it was a one-man show today. Praneeth here, 100 not out and 4 wickets. Very, very happy to see that performance from Praneeth. Yep.
Absolutely. So here we go. I think that's it for today. And we are going to be back again tomorrow morning. So do not miss your love towards cricket with this beautiful US Premier League supported by CBTF, Speed News and MTR. We're going to see you again.